Well, hey, this episode is running on the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Congratulations on still existing. Technically, sort of, in a manner of speaking. Anyway, gaming may be an international medium, played and made all over the world, occasionally dominated at competition by Korea or culture by Japan, but there's no denying that the United States has always been extremely extremely represented. I'm the Game Overthinker, and these are the 10 greatest Americans in video games. Is there anything more American than punching Nazis? No, there is not. BJ Blazkowicz has been taking it to the Third Reich across several wars and timelines since the original Wolfenstein, and it clearly runs in the family, since canonically, he's supposedly the ancestor of the original Doom protagonist and will be meeting his trigger-happy twin daughters in the next Wolfenstein spin-off, so maybe it's family that's more American than punching Nazis.
Damn you Nazi bastards!
Nope, it's still punching Nazis. Always punch Nazis. Dead or Alive is a series of Japanese tournament fighting games about learning a surprisingly deep fighting engine in order to describe said fighting engine in enough detail to convince your friends that you're not just playing to see the girls bounce around in their victory animations. True to form, Tina Armstrong always makes sure to put the stars and stripes right where she knows you're going to be looking anyway, and her backstory as the glory-seeking daughter of a legendary professional wrestler looking to score an acting career by proving herself in a legit martial arts tournament is all about independence. Plus, in the Dead or Alive movie, she was played by North Carolina's own Jamie Presley, who's so all-American, she was in Can't Hardly Wait, Joe Dirt, My Name is Earl, and the Jerry Springer movie. So she's basically like an apple pie with a SAG card. In this one-time Japan-only cult classic by From Software, the evil Vice President of the United States, Richard Hawke, stages a military coup piloting a powerful mech suit. The only hope to stop him, rightful President Michael Wilson, a descendant of Woodrow Wilson, using his own mech suit, which somehow still sounds like a better way of deciding these things than the Electoral College. Okay, according to most Western-published Nintendo media relating to the Super Mario Bros. Continuity prior to the late 1990s, Mario and Luigi have the appearance and affect of mid-20th century East Coast Italian-American stereotypes because they're originally plumbers from Brooklyn, New York. Then after Yoshi's Island, it was retconned that they were babies in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's now largely unclear what happened in between that point, but Brooklyn hasn't come up in a while, and well, too f***ing bad. It's my list, and I'm still counting it, and Mario totally wore the stars and stripes in NES Open Golf, and they brought that outfit back for Odyssey, so he goes on the list. As the ultimate villain of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Senator Armstrong, no relation, is not a good guy and he doesn't have a good plan, but he does have one of the biggest and most extreme plans in the Metal Gear canon, and even among Metal Gear franchise bad guys, the super on-the-nose symbology of a far-right military-industrious politician beefing himself up into a roided-out science Hulk to beat down the hero is American as hell in the best of the worst ways. Yes, the bad dudes had names, and they were Blade and Stryker. Together, they saved the President of the United States from an army of, several thousand ninjas pretty much on a dare, especially since it seems like they didn't get any money or a commission or cabinet post out of it. They pretty much just got that burger. Either way, they were patriots. Kind of feel like you wouldn't necessarily have two super competent karate masters jumping up to do that job today, you know? I know we don't really have as much of a ninja problem as we used to, but I still kind of feel like if it was breaking news tomorrow that the president had been kidnapped by ninjas, most people today would be like, yeah, alright, that's okay. We're okay. That's fine. We're fine. I'm sure they'll give him back when they're done with, whatever. You know what's American? Being extra. We're the nation of extra cheese, extra meat, extra patties, extra buns, stuffed crust, supersize it, yes I want fries with that, double wide, monster truck living, and that's how we do it. Hell, we got 50 states and we're really only using 7 of them most of the time. Does anyone really need 2 whole Dakotas? Hell, I ain't supposed to tell you this if you ain't from here, but one of the states in this circle, I can't say which one, doesn't even have people in it. For real, nobody's there. It's just a big hangar for storing bulk-size Chef Boyardee. Anyway, Jax is extra. Only black guy in Mortal Kombat 2? Not enough. He's got to get robot arms. Robot arms not enough? He's got to pull somebody else's arms off in a fatality. Internet soft boys weren't mad enough at Mortal Kombat 11 because Scarlet had a hat on or whatever. He's got to go back in time and end slavery, because he's extra, and that's America. Depending on how you look at it, Street Fighter series' international roster of outlandish fighters is either a collection of often shockingly embarrassing ethnic caricatures, cultural stereotypes, and racial fetishism that unavoidably highlights the retrograde view of foreigners, minorities, and marginalized groups still considered acceptable in too much of Japanese entertainment media, or it's a diverse collection of identities and avatars allowing generations of gamers the chance to find a character that speaks to their experience. No, it's actually just the first one. It's entirely the first one. It's kind of hard to argue that it's not the first one. Still, Street Fighter's thinly veiled hierarchy of noble, pure-souled fighters from Japan and fighters not from Japan who are either genetic freaks of nature or pinup girl meant that Guile was many a white male American gamer in the 90s' first experience at seeing themselves caricatured in the same way, though perhaps not a lot of the same historical baggage as, well, some of the others. Sure, vain macho prick who hangs out combing his hair on an army base like it's a goddamn gym parking lot isn't the sickest burn that could have been delivered under the circumstances, but there was definitely no ignoring where this guy was supposed to come from. At least not until Johnny Bravo did basically the same gag later on. No, seriously, same basic guy, take a look. Now, it's possible to miss that the Japanese designers of Street Fighter may not have necessarily intended Colonel Guile to be a wholly flattering caricature of American servicemen. No more heroes, beam saber-wielding, anime-ogling assassin for hire, wrestler-mimicking fanboy anti-hero. On the other hand, there's no mistaking Travis as anything but Suda51's dark dressing down of American popular culture and otaku gamer culture in particular. And yet there's also something almost eventually endearing about this slovenly, self-destructive douchebag of a man-child that indicates Suda is thinking a bit more deeply on his subject than the flippant treatment suggests. There's a grim, resigned sincerity to Travis and the blighted city of Santa Destroy that indicates an understanding of the existence of America on the fringes that goes beyond just parody. Travis Touchdown is the dark side of the American dream, but it's a dream all the same. A consistent theme of Saints Row 4 is that it keeps trying to be funny and instead ends up really endearing, charming, and even genuinely meaningful, while also still being really funny. They let you customize your The Boss character with an almost absurd level of freedom as a broad joke about the tabula rasa nature of game protagonists and end up with a genuinely all-inclusive gender, race, sexuality representative paradigm. They let you literally fuck anything that moved to goof on Mass Effect romance options and sorta for real outwoked BioWare in that regard. And in cranking the absurdity of the Duragar video game action movie surrogate family trope up to 11,000, it ended up creating a sense of real camaraderie you couldn't help but be legitimately invested in. So even though the boss becoming the president in Saints Row 4 is making fun of exactly the kind of absurd video game story arc seen elsewhere on this very list, in the same way the Third Street Saints themselves end up endeared to us, whatever persona you placed onto You're the Boss ultimately comes to embody a genuinely profound modern realization of one of the most cherished American mythic ideals, that anyone, in this case even a character who started out as a low-life gang member, became a pseudo-celebrity and then a mercenary, and may very well be of fluid or wholly ambiguous race, gender, sexuality, and what have you, can become president. And you know, like so much about my country, as imperfect and questionable in reality as that particular piece of our mythos is, it's still a pretty nice idea. Happy birthday, America. Please get your shit together.